Hi guys, Luca here from Saber Airsoft with another video. That was just a bike going past, I don't know if that'll come through. We're back in the workshop. Today we are doing some shadow foam. I've had a few people ask me how I do the shadow foam, how long it takes, and obviously prices. And a lot of the time when I tell people the price of doing this shadow foam, they run a mile. And the reason they run a mile is because I charge by the hour. So obviously the more complex something is, the more it's going to cost. Recently I did a particularly annoying AI generated logo, which I had to go through on Photoshop and turn into a stencil, and simplify it and improve it. And at the same time, then I had to go and cut it into the foam, and it took 3 hours to cut just the logo into the foam. Only took 2 hours on top of that for the actual replicas to be cut out and whatnot, but the logo itself is always what takes the longest. So I always tell people, keep it simple. This is a bit of a special one though, because as you can see, this is for the Asahi M60. The owner and I had been back and forth quite a lot, trying to decide what we would do for it. Like, would the original idea being putting the Asahi logo in there, but the problem with that is Asahi didn't have a logo. All they had was this katakana. It's not kanji, it's katakana. And it literally just says Asahi Firearms. And then, again, lots of back and forth, lots of discussion, mostly on the way back from OP Nemesis, and we decided to go M60, Asahi down the bottom here, and then the katakana across here. Some of the paper may not look like it's level, but trust me, I have been going through this, measuring to make sure it is actually level. The problem with katakana is that it doesn't actually have a set distance between the characters, and there's a lot of surprising amount of variance in the up and down as well. Not all characters, like with English, all the characters always end up basically on the same line. Not so with katakana. So on that note, I'm not going to record this like I normally do, where it'll be me talking as I go. I'm going to record this as a time lapse because, as I say, this takes a while. To do this, I literally use, where is it? There it is. I quite literally use a scalpel to cut all of this out and then meticulously remove only the top layer. That's how I do it, and that's why it takes so long. Some people have suggested, why don't you use a laser? If you do a laser with a logo, it's probably going to work quite well. Obviously, it won't work with something of this scale as easily. I don't have a laser cutter. Someone else also suggested doing basically like a 3D printer, but just attach a blade. This is probably going to require me to change the blade out at least 3 or 4 times. So that, again, there's more that can go wrong. Whereas if I just use a scalpel, yes, it takes longer, but I can get it right the first time, and it costs less. Because each time you mess up with the foam, then you need a whole new sheet. Yes, you can glue stuff back down, but you'll always see the mistake that was there because there'll always still be the cut there. So for me, in my mind, doing it by hand takes longer, but is better. Without further ado though, let's do the time lapse. There you go, guys. Hope you enjoyed that. That took approximately an hour to do. This is one of the simplest ones I've ever done. I think this turned out really, really well. This green it looks a lot brighter on the camera than it does in real life. It's not that bad. So I'm just going to quickly anticipate a few questions. Number one, why do I change the blade so often when I'm cutting it out? The blade does dull, and foam dulls it really quickly. What I find is that you start to feel like it's dragging rather than cutting. And so as soon as I start to feel that extra bit of resistance, and it's only a little bit, that's when I know I need to change the blade. It's not predictable sometimes. Sometimes it is. For this one, I got through 1, 2, 3, 4 blades, as I actually predicted I'd get through 4. What other questions? What is this stuff? This is Shadow Foam. I'm not an affiliate with them at this time, at least at the time of the recording. There will be a link down below where you can buy Shadow Foam from the company. That is a brand name. If by the time that this video goes up I do become an affiliate, then I will obviously say that it's an affiliate link. But if it doesn't say that it's an affiliate link, then I'm not an affiliate. So Shadow Foam, if you do watch this, please, I actually wouldn't mind becoming an affiliate, because then it would save my customers money as well as myself. Do I do commissions for anyone? Pretty much. When it comes to the lids, after doing this one and a few others recently, I have decided I will just do the lid if that's what people want. You can buy the lid separately. Important to know, when you buy Shadow Foam for the Nuprol cases, you have two options: main body and lid. You do not need both. If you want both the lid and the body, select main body. If you want just the lid, select lid. Otherwise, you'll end up with 2 lids, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. That does mean then that you've got one to practice on, which, you know, that could be good. But yeah, they are. I really like Shadow Foam. It's really grown on me. They've got loads of different colours. It's not as expensive as people think. Some people do consider it expensive, but I don't. It's about 50 odd pounds, depending. Sometimes there's a sale and it's less, at around £44. I've never seen it more though. They've got really, really quick delivery. This is recyclable as well. It is, I want to say it's low density polyethylene or something to that effect. Basically the same stuff that carry bags are made of, you know, the stuff that you can recycle. So it is recyclable, and this, everything I cut out does not go to landfill. I do get it recycled. You can do so usually at a local supermarket. I am obviously going to be doing the bottom for this as well, but I genuinely can't get over how good this looks. This looks so much better than I expected. I expected it to look really, really good, but damn, does that look good. If you're wondering how I know what this says, first off, yes, I did make sure to put it through a translator. Secondly, this is the same characters that's on the Asahi boxes. Thank you to Raresoft for helping me to confirm that. What else? Yeah, I also, funnily enough, have a lodger who speaks and reads Japanese. I think she can do both katakana and kanji. And when she saw this, I called it kanji, and she went, no, that's katakana. And then scrolled through the pages, because this was obviously in 4 separate sections, and she sounded it out as we scrolled, and she just said, Asahi Ferums, or something to that effect. I can't remember, that was a terrible impression. But she basically confirmed that this is Asahi Firearms. As I say, this was a simple one. This only took me an hour to do this lid, which with my current rate at the time of recording would be £35. The one that I did before this took 3 hours to do, and bear in mind that was, you know, about this sort of size in the middle of the lid, but that took 3 hours. So complexity of the logo or what you want on there really does dictate the time. And if I have to go through in Photoshop and edit and make it into a stencil, I am going to start adding a fixed fee for that, because it does take me a long time. If you can provide it already as a stencil, it's going to save you money and save me time, which will be much better. Because I don't actually sometimes know if a logo is going to work as a stencil until I've gone through that Photoshop process. So there will be a fixed fee for it if moving forward. International customers. I did recently have someone ask about this as a service, whether or not I could ship out to the States. I've decided I can do the lids, but I don't know what shipping is going to be like to get it over to places like the United States or Europe. Obviously, international shipping of replicas is just not going to happen. So it's not worth the headache of you sending out your replica to be put into the body, and then me sending it back. It's already a headache enough to send replicas around the UK because there's only 2 couriers that do it. I don't want to add in the extra trouble and challenge of trying to do it internationally. So, sorry guys, that's not going to happen. I might be able to do the bottom if I have or can put my hands on the same replica, and you'd have to finish off with any accessories. But I'm not shipping internationally. It's not going to happen, at least with replicas. I will look into the possibility and how I'll go about shipping the lids if the people want to commission me for the lids. But also, I don't want to do this full time. Yes, I make good money for the company on this, doing this sort of thing, but it's not what the company's about. My company is a tech service first and foremost, and will always be a tech service first and foremost. Yes, I've started doing other things such as products, and hopefully soon I'll have a lathe and be able to do more stuff. And yes, I do the shadow foam, but that's not the primary purpose, and I don't want to change that. Anyway, that's it for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that's shown you a bit more of the process that's involved. Catch you on the next one.